What's going on, everybody? It has been a minute. Let me make this a little brighter. There we go. It has been a minute. I've been doing some things, and some things have been, happening. But we back. We back. I know I said this. I've taken some time, but bottom line is when you got other things going on in life, sometimes things can happen, get you pulled away from what you like to do, your passion, stuff that your hobbies, things that you get invested in. But we here now, and we're here for a good reason. We're here to talk about the verses between Donnel Jones and Joe. One of the I think it's going to be one of the best verses that they've been able to put together to date. The two catalogs that both these talented artists have is incredible. I mean, what can you really say? There's just so many hit songs that both of them have, and both the other thing about both artists is they created a vibe, right? Like, people know what Donnell Jones makes them feel like when they put on those songs and listen to that music. It's like, where you were when you first heard the songs, what you were going through, how you were feeling. Might have a song that makes you reminisce about your ex. You might have a song makes you think about your first love. You might have a song that you like, yeah, when I hear this song, I want to clean the house. Like, you vibes. And the same thing goes for Joe. Joe's got, like serious love-making songs, serious heartbreak songs. He's got bumps, like jams, right? They both got jams, but Joe's got one of the most iconic TV show anthem themes, if you will. Everybody watched the show Power on Stars, the original OG Power. That theme song is Joe and 50. That is one of the best theme songs you could ever hear. Hip hop theme songs, probably the best hip hop theme song I've heard for a show. I think that's just it. That's Joe. So it's just so many different things, man. I just can't say enough how excited I am for this battle. I'm looking forward to hearing, the great work from both these artists. As they have said themselves, this is not like other versus battles where these guys are going against each other. This is a celebration of music. This is a celebration of both their careers and all the hard work and dedication they put into their craft. I mean, we're talking about two legendary R&B singers, and I hope that they get their just due. It's about time that this happens for both of them. They have just made songs that are like the blueprint of some people's lives, right? So I just can't wait to see it all unfold. My honest opinion. Let's see how I feel. I don't know. As I was preparing and just thinking about what this verses might look like, I was listening to the catalogs of both these artists. Man, this is a tough one. I know that there's fans of each that think either one got it, right? There's fans of Joe that like, this is easy. There's fans of Donnell Jones is like, what are we doing here? And that's what makes this great. But also, I just want both sides to understand this is not easy. Both these artists have joints. Like, I'm listening to the catalog and going through these songs, and I'm like, man, these are bangers. Like, whether you like smooth R&B, whether you like groove R&B, whether you like hip hop and R&B, like both these guys got bangers that span the test of time, different albums, hits. If you like R&B music, this is it. This is one of them ones. Now we are talking about a versus though. So because we are talking about a versus, we have to think about it's a show, it's a performance. That all goes into this. And I know Joe still performs. I know Donnel Jones still performs. However, I don't know what is the caliber of each when it comes to performing these days. I will say I've heard Joe perform maybe a year ago or 2 years ago on YouTube. I wasn't there live, and it was good. It was good. He was pretty solid. Um, so that's a good sign. However, I'm just keeping it funky, y'all. I'm keeping it real. Donnell Jones is one of my favorite artists, R&B singers. He goes down in the class of one of those, one of them ones. But I have to be honest, and I've always said this ever since he came out with his first album. I do not necessarily love Donnell Jones's live performances. I feel like he has a little bit of a hitch in his voice, like a little bit of a yodel that when he's in the studio engineers can clean it up. So I don't notice it or hear it as much when he's recording the tracks. But when he's live, you hear it a lot more. There's plenty of artists that have come and gone throughout the years that have a yodel. It's not my cup of tea. There's some people that like it. I was never a big yodel person. Celine Dion, or Celine Dion, however you want to say it, is one of the greatest singers ever. She also has a yodel, though. The great thing about her, though, is it's not always as pronounced. You hear it sometimes, but it's not always as pronounced. But she does have a yodel. There's other artists out there. There's another one that's really famous that I always think, but I can't remember at the moment. But they have a yodel too, and it's always prevalent. You hear it easily. If it comes to me, I'll mention it. But the bottom line is that's the only thing I worry about with Donnell Jones. I think the problem with Donnell Jones is his live performances. I don't think his voice is super strong. And that's why the yodel is so prevalent. I think he has more of a soft, melodic R&B voice. And so that's why he can't overcome the yodel. To me, to overcome that yodel, you gotta be able to sing with a lot of oomph and strength to get over it. R. Kelly, say what you will about him as a person, but his music and all that, R. Kelly has a yodel. It's also pronounced, but R. Kelly sings with passion and sings with strength, and he bolts out the notes. You don't always hear the yodel. It's not as prevalent, but it's there. Believe me. You hear R. Kelly try to sustain a note, you'll hear the yodel. So the bottom line is, I'm just worried about Donnell Jones, and if he can somehow make the live performance something that won't come back to hurt him. Because if that yodel is prevalent, it could be a long night. Because really, hit for hit, they both got the bangers. It's all about preference. If you hear these songs the way they're supposed to be intended, it's hard to pick who's the winner. Problem is, if they're performing them live, that's where you might see an edge go to Joe. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. The other thing about this battle is we don't necessarily know how many songs are going to be versus, right? The last battle that they had, I believe, was Pretty Ricky versus B2K, and that was 15 rounds. This one it's going to at least go 15 rounds, but it could easily go 20. These two, gentlemen have the catalog to go 20 without a problem. We got to see how it all shakes out. I'm under the impression, I'm just assuming that they're going to go 20. I don't, but as I think about it, I think the battle starts at 9:00 Eastern time, or maybe even 9:30. I don't know, but around there. So that could be like a little bit of a late battle. Maybe they don't want to go 20 songs. So we'll see. All right. That being said, what I'm going to do is just take a look at these songs from both sides. Now, this is not clear cut that these are the songs that are going to be played by both of these artists. I just picked 20 that I know could be played, right? Everybody has their own preferences. Most of these songs I'm sure everybody likes, but there might be a couple songs that you're like, you know what, I like this one instead of that one, or blah blah blah. It's all up for interpretation. This is my picks, what I like. There's a couple songs that I don't even like as much, but I think other people like them because they were, well received. So I left them there. You know what I mean? So, for example, you know, if we go from top down, you see the bangers, right? Donnel Jones, you know what's up, where I want to be. Shorty got her eyes on me. You know that I love you. Knocks me off my feet. This love. These are bangers. I'll Go is not a song that's necessarily one of my favorites, but I know a lot of other people like it. It's So Hard, the Big Pun joint. That's a banger. Put Me Down featuring Styles P. It's okay. I mean, I think it's a cool song, but I know other people really like it. That's why it's there. I Want to Love You Down is one of my favorite songs by Donnel Jones. Have You Seen Her? Another one. I mean, he has some bangers, man. Think About It. That's another one that I really love. Natural Thing from the first album, fire. Better Start Talking featuring Jermaine Dupri. More of a new school bop, but people like it. Never Let Her Go featuring David Banner. This one is iffy, but apparently a lot of people like it. So I don't want to just put my own thoughts out there all the time about what I like. So a lot of people like that song. We'll see. And plus it's a little bit more up tempo. He's got to come back. He's got to have the ballads and he's got to have some up tempo to go back and forth. Of course, he's got the bangers, but he's got to have some mids in there too. If it's 15, it's one thing, but if it's 20, if it's 15 and you cut some of this fat, then I would assume like Never Let Her Go. Maybe the I'm Gonna Be from the Clips, Put Me Down from Styles P. Maybe those get clipped, right? And he keeps some of these other songs. Yearning, a banger. Forever, another really dope song. No Interruptions is my favorite song from the first album. Believe in Me, another banger from the first album. It all depends on how many he's going. If he's going 15, he could clip one or two of these at the bottom, right? But it's all up for, interpretation. Joe, top to bottom, stutter, a freaking banger. I Want to Know, another banger. All the Things, Don't Want to Be a Play. These are all bangers. Thank God I Found You was a crossover big hit for Joe with Mariah Carey in 98 Degrees. Still Not a Player, another banger with Big Pun. If I Was Your Man, that's a huge hit for him. Want to Get to Know You with G Unit, that was fire. What if a Woman? That's fire too. A lot of people like that. The women love it. Ride With You is one of my favorite up-tempo joints from him. More and More. Treat Her Like a Lady. Let's Stay Home Tonight. One that people sleep on because some people haven't heard this album. His, what was the name of that album? Signature. The Signature album featured a bunch of good songs. That was a slept on album. I think a lot of people don't know how good that album is. He's got about 4 or 5 really good R&B songs on that album. And one of them is Metaphor. So I assume that he might play one of the songs from that album. I think Metaphor makes sense, but who knows? So I Can Have You Back. That's one of those. If that's your song, that's your song. It's a dope song. It got tons of views, millions of views. So I know people love it. I'm not the biggest fan of it because it's not like, song that I think about, but I know it's a song that people love. No One Else Come Close. That's a cult favorite of mine. That's one of my favorite songs from him too. It's like a soundtrack song to me because it feels like it's a music video song. Good Girls, Faded Pictures with Joe and Case, The Love Scene, and Love and Sex Part 2, Joe and Kelly Rowland. So once again, if he's going to go 20, he could easily go 20. He could replace these songs. He could he could even, which I do think, I didn't have it here. I do think he might throw in the Power theme song with 50. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. Big Rich Town. So I didn't put that here, but I could see him putting it here. Like no matter what, even if he does 20, I could see him putting that song here because people love that song. Um, but if he goes 15, you know, I could easily see him clipping, some of these and making it even more condensed. Um, you know, I don't know what he would clip. Maybe Good Girls, uh, Love and Sex Part Two. Um, I don't know. It would be tricky because he's got a lot. These are all really good songs for him, charting songs too. So I would. Yeah, it's all about what he feels. But if it's 15, it's going to be interesting. What 15 he would go with because he's got a solid 20 as well. And like I said, that power song is like it's such a classic song that so many people know and everybody sings when they hear it. That's not even on here, and this is 20. So, you're talking about if it's 15, he's got some work to do to figure out what he likes more than what else. Um, and I do think that they might even this whole thing could be wrong, and they might say they want to do something a little different and really, showcase what each of them has done over the years. So they may even put some songs that may not be as well known that weren't big hits just to showcase other albums that they worked on because both of these guys have multiple albums. We know that they have like 2 or 3 hit albums, but they've got more than 2 or 3 albums. So they may want to feature some of their work on other albums. And if either one of them has any new projects coming out, I could also see them possibly featuring something from a new project. So this is it's going to be really interesting to see uh how this goes down. I'm like super excited to see what it's going to turn out to be. And like I said, I'm really hoping for first I'm hoping for really good performances from both artists, but I'm also hoping for a good crowd. I'm hoping for this if the whatever the crowd is, I hope these people are Joe and Donnel Jones fans. Don't want to see some of these verses have had some whack crowds. We don't need that for this. This is a legendary verses with 2 hit maker R&B singers. We need a good crowd that's going to enjoy the music. You know what I mean? Like and the other thing that I wasn't thinking about is both of these artists can bring out special guests, um, which they might. I didn't think about that because sometimes, when you think about R&B, you don't always necessarily need to bring out these special guests. You don't need to see them. Like when we saw well, they also have a group, but I was thinking the SWV versus Escape, but they have so many people they didn't really need to bring out special guests. But and then like even Bobby Brown versus Keith Sweat, neither one of them brought out any special guests. They could have, but they didn't. So we got to see what happens. Tell you one thing, like Joe has a little bit of a cheat code. He's got 3 songs with G Unit artist 50. He could bring him out and do 3 joints. So that's a little bit of a cheat code for him. But if there was going to be some special guest, unfortunately, rest in peace, Lisa Left Eye Lopes. We know she won't be available, but Styles P, Clips, Jermaine Dupri, David Banner. I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know if Donnel Jones wants to go that route. On Joe's side, I don't think either one of these guys really need to bring out a special guest. But on Joe's side, he could bring out, like I said, G Unit people if he wanted to. He could bring out Case. Faded Pictures was a big song for both of them. And I think it was on both of their albums. I think it was shared. So, I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't even think neither one of them needs to bring out anybody. I think they've got enough, on their own that they can hold it down. Um, but it'll be interesting to see. Let me see here. I don't know if I'm gonna get flagged or copyrighted if I try to even play snippets of these songs. I think I will. I think yeah. I don't think it's even worth it, guys. I was gonna try to see if I could play some snippets of each song so you guys could have an idea of what I'm talking about if you're not familiar with their catalogs, right? But the tube will definitely flag me. So I think you get away with a little bit more when it's live performances because there's a little different expectation about original integrity. So we'll see. But I don't know. And I'm not. I don't think I'll be able to. Let me see. I'll if my connection is working well tomorrow, I'll see. Maybe I can even stream the verses live and react to it. But we'll see. If I can't, maybe I can do it like right after, like the next, the next day. I can do it, and do it that way because I may not be able to do it live. I don't know if my internet integrity is strong enough to handle it right now these days. But either way, guys, I think this is going to be a fantastic versus one you definitely should tune into if you like R&B music. If you're a fan of 90s R&B, early 2000s R&B, I think you'll definitely enjoy this. And if you're not that familiar with R&B music, let me tell you something. These are two gentlemen that you definitely need to listen to that will give you the feel of what real R&B music sounds like. So that's it, guys. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Pop up, talk about what I'm looking forward to. Both these artists are phenomenal. This should be a fantastic battle. Tune in tomorrow night. It's through Apple TV. You'll find it on YouTube. The verses between Donnel Jones and Mr. Joe. Let me see here. What's the exact time that they have it set for, so you guys know. It is set for 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. So should be pretty dope. Definitely looking forward to it. You guys stay tuned. I will be back with more content. This was the kickoff, so I should be going back into reacting to some more music that I haven't. There's a lot of music out there that I'll be honest, guys, I have not reacted to. I've let it go by the wayside, and I'm behind. So I got to get some reactions up for you guys. And I really want to start getting into reacting to live stuff like verses and stuff like that. It would have been nice to react to Pretty Ricky versus B2K. I knew a lot about B2K. I haven't heard all their music, but that would have been one that I would have liked to react to because honestly, even though I know of Pretty Ricky, I knew of a couple of their songs. I slept on them a little bit. And Pretty Ricky's a beast, man. They had a lot more to offer than I expected. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. All right. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. Stay tuned tomorrow for the verses. Enjoy. And we'll get back with some more stuff very soon. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know it's going to be good. Take care. I'm out.